morning, my lovely creatives. I have treated myself to some new art materials and I'm going to try them out today and draw this little portrait of a fox and some cute autumn pumpkins. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe. I share lots of art tutorials for beginners and you get an insight in behind the scenes of my illustration life as well. I am running a color pencil course this autumn, and although I have lots of color pencils already, I have lots of small sets of artist grade pencils and I have some larger sets of cheaper student grade pencils. I really wanted to buy a large set of artist grade pencils, so I bought these Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils and I've been eyeing up this box for absolutely ages. I made a playlist with all my color pencil art tutorials together. I have linked it in the description and here on top of the screen. These Faber-Castell pencils are my personal favorite and I've used them before, but I've never had the full set before. This really makes me feel like a kid in a candy shop. I was a little bit worried ordering color pencils online because what if the postman doesn't handle the box carefully and all my pencils arrive broken? But so far so good, everything seems to be fine. I've made some drawings with them now and yeah, all the pencils seem to be good in condition. Look how many colors these are. They're just absolutely gorgeous and I can't wait to get my hands in there and use them. I also bought myself a new set of alcohol markers because alcohol markers and color pencils go together absolutely wonderful, and I have used alcohol markers a lot in the past, but my set is running out a little bit, some colors are running low and I really wanted to try out this Winsor Pro marker set. Alcohol markers and color pencils are a match made in heaven and they go together absolutely wonderful. You can use your alcohol markers to make an underlayer painting and then go over it with your color pencils to add contrast and detail, and I will show you how that works at the end of this video. It's time to get creative together and let's do some drawing. I am drawing this fox in these color pencils and I'm starting with setting up a light sketch. I am running a new course. It is drawing in color pencils and it's an autumn course all along autumn theme, so we'll be using lots of oranges and reds and warm autumn colors, and this fox is one of the pictures that we're going to draw in this course. So I will not show you the entire video here, but I'll show you how I went about it and a little bit of a sneak peek of what we're going to do in my course. So you can see this picture was based on a reference photo and I'm starting with a sketch, and now I'm really adding a little bit more to my sketch in a light orange. I find sketching in color pencil a lot of fun. I do sketch with a sketch pencil first sometimes, but just by going in with my color pencil I can still make lots of changes and slowly build up the drawing. At this stage the drawing is far from perfect. I still need to make lots of changes and I slowly move things around and changing proportions in these colors that I'm using. And I'm slowly starting to add a little bit of purple. Purple is one of my favorite shadow colors. You can see I'm giving a little bit more expression to this fox's face. If you have seen any of my other videos, you know that I love bright, bold colors and I like a little bit of a rainbow color to any type of drawing. So I tend to go in with purples and yellows and greens and blues and stay away from the black for a while. So I'm not adding any black till the very end until I really want to give some extra contrast to the drawing. And sometimes a bit of an unusual color can be a really lovely surprise effect in a drawing. And purples and yellows and oranges go together really well. They are opposite on the color wheel and they enhance the vibrancy of each other. So if you have a yellow-orange color and you put some purple next to it, it will look more vibrant, and I just think these colors go together wonderfully. I know I have this large set with all these different colors, but I try to limit myself a little bit by picking out some colors from the set before I start and sort of make a little bit of a plan in my head, because otherwise all these colors can be a little bit overwhelming. And there are so many different colors orange, so many different colors yellow, so I decide on what colors I'm going to use before I start my picture. So you can see I'm now starting to add a little bit of black in. I already had a black pencil, so this is one of the old sets. It's very small, as you can see. I go through my black pencils a lot. I use them with my charcoal a lot as well, so I go through at least 6 of these black pencils a year, I would say. And for the background, I wanted to add in a little bit of extra color, and I wanted to really use my colored pencils for some blending. Because on the fox I've not really done any blending of the colors, I've really left it layered and a bit rough. But I know that these pencils blend wonderfully, so you can see I'm creating a really full and smooth color for the background. And I really enjoyed the contrast of the sort of shruggy fur and then the smooth background. These Polychromos pencils are famous for their blending abilities and for creating really smooth layers. And I probably don't use them for that enough. This is something I could utilize a little bit more. I often like it when you see a little bit of the texture of the pencil and some strokes. I often leave my drawings a little bit rough around the edges. Let's have a look at what these color pencils look like if I make an underlayer painting with alcohol marker. Alcohol markers are similar to felt tips, but they're a bit more professional and the colors layer beautifully. They also blend out together. That means that you can add two colors over each other, next to each other, and mix them up and blend them out together. So it's almost a bit like a paint. The layers sort of start soft, and if you go over a layer multiple times, you create a darker color. You can see I'm going straight in here, no sketch. This is going to be a pumpkin. It's not a very complicated shape, so I'm happy to just go straight in there with my marker. And I'll also try and let go of perfectionism a little bit and create something that is, a little bit more loose, and it's okay if it's a bit rough around the edges. I'm starting with my lightest color, which is this yellow, and just figuring out these individual curves and shapes of this pumpkin. I could make this drawing in just alcohol markers, and that would also be a lot of fun, but I really want to see how they combine with these color pencils and see how much detail I can add to this little drawing. So I'm going to go over it with an orange color, and add a little bit of a stem, of course, as well. These markers have a chiseled tip and a sharp tip. And I usually prefer the chiseled tip. I don't know why, I don't very often use the sharp tips on my markers. I also did not say this in the beginning, but this is not a sponsored post. I just bought these materials for myself and I paid for it myself as well. And I'm just trying them out. So any of these views are just completely my own. I have not been paid to say anything about these, but I do really like them. If Winsor Newton or Faber-Castell want to sponsor me, feel free to reach out. I would really love to work with you. So, adding in some oranges. I think this is going to be the sort of main color for these pumpkin, is warm orange. I love pumpkin. I made a pumpkin risotto yesterday with sage from my garden and a bit of goat's cheese on top, and it was absolutely delicious. And it really gives me this cozy, autumny feel. I think it might be my favorite season. I love the summer, and I really love warm weather as well. But there's just something so beautiful about the autumn, and all the leaves are changing, and all the colors are so beautiful, and you can cozy up a little bit again and put a jumper on, and I do think it is my favorite. I would really miss seasons if I lived in a country where the weather was tropical and it was always warm. Even though that does sound amazing, I would really miss the autumn and the winter, I think. The fact that there's new seasons every few months just keeps things interesting, doesn't it? So, there we go. This is the underlayer color. I will use this dark orange color to add some shading and a few lines onto the markers as well. Just to make things look a little bit more three-dimensional. And I'm actually already liking this. I know I'm going to go over it with this blending marker. It sort of softens the inks and blends it out together. And with lots of pencil, but I already really like the first version of it. So I'm using some oranges and some yellows and also a really light color to add some highlights. The beautiful thing about marker, about an underpainting, is that you can go over it with a lighter pencil and add light details over a dark background. And that's something that's really fun, because usually when you work in color pencils, the light pencils don't layer very well over the dark pencils. Sometimes it depends a bit on the subject, but it just works beautifully when you make an underlayer painting. The pumpkin that I use as a reference photo has lots of little bumps and little marks on it. It looks pretty perfect, but it is not smooth. So I'm trying to create a sense of a bit of texture on the outside of this pumpkin, but also keeping that light shining on it. Making an underlayer painting really speeds up the process, and it's a lot of fun as well. Sometimes when you draw in color pencils, it can be a little bit slow. So if you make something larger, if you want something that is really super vibrant, I would really recommend trying this technique, because it makes a huge difference. I am going in with a really dark purple color and adding some more shadows into the artwork, because the inside of the pumpkin, where the light can't really reach, is really dark, and I don't really want to use black for this. I want to keep this a really warm sort of tone, and purple, or this warm aubergine color, is a really great color for that. I think I have this exact same color already. I need to have a look, see if it's the same number, and that's one of my favorite colors. I need to see, because there's so many shades in this set, it might be a slightly different one, but that warm aubergine brown reddish color is something that I really enjoy. I think is really great for all sorts of shadows and warm tones. So you can see I've slowed my video down again. This is just in real time, so you can see how long it actually takes to make a drawing like this. Sometimes I have to speed up the video a little bit, otherwise my YouTube videos would be hours. I think it took me about 20 minutes, half an hour to make this pumpkin, so not too long, but I have sped it up a little bit here. I'm actually really happy with it. I think it looks really fun. Be good like a little sticker. Really vibrant. And the underlayer painting works really well. It feels a little bit funny to say on video that I'm happy with what my creations are, that I'm happy with my art. But I want this channel to be about the entire art journey, and I want to teach you that it's okay to make mistakes, but it's also okay to celebrate things that you're really happy with and that you're proud of. I made some videos where I share art that I wasn't happy with, some bad art. I put some air quotes around bad, but yeah, some bad art. And I also like to tell you when I made something that I'm proud of or that I'm happy with. Our journey is not a linear journey. Sometimes things go right, sometimes you suddenly learn a lot, sometimes the process slows down, and I want to teach you that it's okay to celebrate all these different steps of the learning process. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe. I really love having you here. I will be sharing much more color pencil videos in the next few weeks, so if you like drawing in color pencil, make sure you stay tuned. There's more to come. And thank you so much for being with me here today. Oh, and before I forget, if you draw along with me, make sure you share your artwork, because it gives me so much joy to see what everyone is creating. So make sure you tag me if you share it on social media at Makings and Musings. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.